My name's Zeo, and we're doing something a little bit different here. This is a more free-form, podcasty sort of thing that I plan to do every month, and I guess we could call this Coffee with Zeo. This isn't the usual scripted, curated content that you've come to expect here. So this is where I share my thoughts on the state of NGS and other RPGs online and offline, and let you know what I've been up to. Not going to be much to look at here, so go ahead and put the sucker on while you go do other things. There will be a little bit of language interspersed here and there for those who aren't used to hearing me swear. Those who watch the lore videos know that I make it a point not to swear in those. I don't normally do opinion pieces like this since, well, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. Well, guess what? This asshole is about to share with you some of his. I guess we'll start with what everyone's been buzzing about as of late, the whole taking a stand against toxicity deal. Some 1,600 people were banned. I wonder how many of these were Meseta bots and how many of these were actual players. Now this sounds great on paper. Oh, we want to make a feel-good, welcoming community. That's kind of a blanket statement though. My definition of toxic or offensive may be radically different from yours. These terms toxic and hateful are very vague, and I could see them being weaponized in some way. We live in a society where even looking at someone the wrong way could be construed as toxic or hateful. To me, this kind of opens the door for a situation like Final Fantasy XIV's. They updated their terms of service with something similar a couple years ago. If you're not familiar with that community, a real popular streamer by the name of Xenosis Vex got suspended from the game for something he said on Twitch outside of the game. He does a lot of raids and Party Finder on streams, and I pop in on him from time to time. I guess he got reported for calling someone a fucking idiot on stream, mind you, not in-game, on stream. They told him to get rid of the offending VOD, but they wouldn't tell him which one exactly, and they suspended him. You're probably wondering why the hell I'm even bringing this up. Well, this does kind of open the door for a similar situation. Let's just say in the future there's content like Twisted by Hatred and someone streaming it and their party's not doing so great, and this streamer says, "Oh my god, this fucking idiot, what the fuck?" and said streamer gets reported and subsequently suspended. "Hey Mr. Streamer, you broke the rules, we need you to get rid of this VOD." What VOD? We can't tell you." What? We can all agree that being racist, sexist, homophobic, even heterophobic or defamatory are never cool in any form of discourse. Outside of that, the terms toxic and hateful can mean, well, whatever the hell you want it to mean. I'll just defer to the golden rule here. Treat others as you'd want to be treated. Anyway, on to the next topic, ERP and hentai symbol arts. As many of you know, I've played PSO2 JP on and off since day one, pretty much. If you play JP at all, then you're probably familiar with Ship 2, Block 20, and the 24/7 stream of hentai symbol arts. You just see straight up hentai all over the place. In the lobbies, in the player shops, you name it. There's no shortage of anime titties and even, dare I say, anime dinglings, the vast majority of which came from us foreigners. This game's audience is probably one of the horniest I've ever seen. I'm sure there are 10 times worse, but this one is up there from my experience. I'm still kind of surprised that NA even got symbol art in the first place. It's a very powerful creative tool and people have made some pretty awesome things with it, but like anything else, it does have potential for abuse. I like my anime boobas, yes I do. Not so much while I'm streaming though. Twitch.tv/Zeomantic. You like my little shameless plug there? Not nearly as bad on JP as it was on Global. So apparently now, in-game sexy time between two consenting adults in private is a bannable offense. This is some pretty big overreach there. ERP in public chat was never allowed. It's kind of like getting it on in public. You have a reasonable expectation that someone's going to see that and call the cops on you, and you're both going to catch a case for indecent exposure. This game really does have the tools to enhance that ERP experience between the outfits and the graphic symbol arts. You know, someone who's just hanging out in town, doing some shopping, upgrading some gear, doesn't need to see two strangers' raunchy ERP session. It's like when you're walking down the street and you come across this couple just having this big sloppy makeout session. You're like, get a room, come on, man. Well, it's probably not so much a thing right now with human malware going around still. Once again, common sense comes into play. I know that's becoming such a lost art nowadays, alongside critical thinking. But yeah, just do that junk with friends you trust. They're not going to drop a dime on your ass, or just do it on Discord. But wait, Zeo, you don't even play on Global. What do you care? Yes, that's true, and this might lead some of you to think that I don't have a dog in this fight. Well, my dear viewer, that couldn't be any farther from the truth. the vast majority of my viewership is on global, so I do have to care what happens with it. Speaking of which, both regions have seen a massive drop in active player base. I think JP has seen like a 60% drop in their user base. You know they gotta be sweating bullets here. If even Japan's numbers are like that, they gotta be reevaluating a few things. They've always managed to correct course one way or another, like with episode 5 and episode 6. I'm not going full on Ragnarok doomer here, nor am I overly optimistic. I've always said that December and January are gonna be the real litmus test here, and that's a pretty widely held sentiment. If they're planning on rolling out big updates every few months, then this next big update had better be pretty damn beefy. As you know, the game will celebrate its 10th anniversary next year. As you know, I deal mostly in PSO2 lore on this channel, and I thought PSO2 dev lore would be fun to do for its 10th anniversary. I still love the hell out of this game, and I don't want to have to do a fucking post-mortem segment on that project. So we got Bouncer coming up next month, and I'll be doing an overview on that, just like with Braver and some of the others. As you know, I took a break from YouTube and streaming for a couple weeks to reevaluate a few things. I have a clearer idea of what I want to do for the rest of the year. Not gonna lie, the break from writing scripts, editing, recording voiceover, all that stuff has been pretty nice. Lately, I've been messing around on Monster Hunter World on PC, and that's been pretty enjoyable. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more about Rise on PC. Might be fun to pick up during content lulls in PSO2 and Final Fantasy XIV. I picked up streaming again the other day with Final Fantasy IV, the Pixel remaster that just came out the other day. Twitch.tv/Zeomantic. Hope you're not a follow bot. I wanted to play this on stream for a while, sometime before Endwalker came out, so the Pixel remaster kinda gave me the perfect excuse. The battle backgrounds and magic effects are solid. The redone sprites and remix music are kinda down to personal preference. I don't mind either of these, but some of the remixes are kind of meh. On top of that, you don't have any of the bonus content from later versions of the game, so no post-game dungeon or anything like that. It's one of those games that I like to pick up and play through every few years. You know, it's comfortable, it's familiar, it's nostalgic. It's definitely the game that solidified my love for RPGs. It'll always have a place in my heart, just like the original PSO. If you ever wanted to play the older Final Fantasies before 7, then this is the way to go. As for new MMOs, I've seen some of New World, but nothing there really caught my interest. I've seen some of Lost Ark, but that's not coming out until sometime next year. Then there's Ashes of Creation, whenever that happens. Ashes of Creation looks awfully ambitious. Endwalker is probably what I'm looking forward to the most. Like my homeboy Everyday says, Final Fantasy XIV is the comfy trad wife. It's beautiful, it's consistent, you know what to expect. So we talked about the bannings, the drop in numbers, among other things. I think that covers pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. So what do you guys think? Hype for New World or Endwalker? Do you think this is Ragnarok for NGS? What else are you looking forward to that isn't online? You know how I love chopping it up with you guys in the comment section and on the streams. Twitch.tv/Zeomantic. Oh, there's that shameless plug again. Oh man, I can't help myself. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And remember, to thine own self be true. Until next time, farewell.